Today we're going to be having a little bit of fun, and we're going to be playing a game with one of the world's oldest known tactics. One of the world's oldest known playable tactics, because they're not all playable in FM. But this tactic, which became known as the pyramid or the 2-3-5, definitely is playable. Let's go and kick some balls, old style. Hello and welcome back to FM with Old Man Phil. And if you are a brand new visitor, I'm Phil and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be having a little bit of fun and we're going to be playing with one of the world's oldest known tactics. Tactics are probably one of the most important parts of your game while you're playing FM, but were tactics always that important? Not at the beginning. Tactics in those days were just a formation, a way of lining up, as the earliest recorded tactics are just pretty much get the ball forward as fast as possible and try and score goals. Defending was not something that was even thought about. The earliest known tactics were recorded in a game in 1872 between Scotland and England. England played with a very attacking 2-8. That's quite attacking. And later it became a 1-1-8. And they played against Scotland, who played with a more conservative 2-2-6. England were well known for their ability to dribble and carry the ball, and so that's what England did. And basically the players would dribble for as long as they could, and when they finally ran out of space, they would lump the ball forward for the next person to chase and then take up the dribbling challenge, and that's how they played the game. Scotland, on the other hand, had discovered that passing the football was quite useful, and so had adapted their formation to the 2-2-6 so that they could include two players in midfield to link the two defenders and the six attackers. However, despite all this attacking threat on the pitch, this game actually petered out to a very tame 0-0 draw. Following on from that game, 5 years later, the tactic that we are about to mess with today was first recorded. It was recorded in 1877 in the Welsh Cup final by Wrexham, and it now had become a 2-3-5. And this, of course, we can play in FM. We do have slots for 5 forwards. We didn't have slots for 6 forwards or 8 forwards. So we can now experiment with this 2-3-5, and that's what we're going to do today. This tactic became known as the pyramid or the 2-3-5 and became one of the world's most widely used tactics right up until about the 1940s. And it's this tactic that we're going to take a look at today. And we're going to try and use this tactic within the modern framework, within the modern game, and within FM. It's a tough challenge, but I think we've managed to do it. We have used Manchester City, and I know a lot of people are going to moan and groan that we've used Manchester City. But if you want to try it, use whatever team that you want to use. I've used Manchester City because I knew that they would have enough forwards, and it would be a good enough team at the back, I think, to avoid it being a complete disaster. If you want to try it, use whatever teams you want to use. This is just a bit of fun. It is not a tactic that you can go and download and plug and play and expect to win games in FM. We're just going to see how my interpretation of the tactic plays out. So let's go and have a look at how we set up this particular formation. And so here we are with my first viewing of the 2-3-5 as performed by Manchester City. And Manchester City do have a match coming up. They will be playing in the Community Shield in a day's time. And this is how we have set them up. We have played one game already with this formation and we beat Sevilla by 3-0, I think it was. Very comfortable, comprehensive victory. And so it's got off to a pretty good start. However, we did give away a lot of chances, and it was only some good goalkeeping and some very good play at the back that actually helped us to maintain that clean sheet. But overall 3-0, I'll take that, even though it was a friendly. And so to set this up, of course, it's going to be a very, very attacking system. Basically with 5 forwards and only 3 in midfield and 2 at the back. It's going to be very, very very attacking. And so in possession, what we've done is we've set it up as fairly wide, and we've left everything blank in terms of the approach play. We're going to play with a much more direct passing directness and a higher tempo. And time wasting, probably not. We're not going to be doing any time wasting. We are going to be playing crosses, hitting early crosses, and that's because we're getting the ball forward as fast as we can. We're not going to play for set pieces. I'm not quite sure why that is switched on, but we are going to run at the defence. Football in those early days was based on the player's ability to dribble and to run with the ball. So it's crucial that we actually have players running with the football. And that's one of the reasons why we picked Manchester City, that they do have an ability to dribble the football. And if you are looking to play with this system, you're going to need dribblers in terms of personnel in your squad. So in transition, there was no such thing as a counter press. So we're not going to counter press, but we're not going to regroup. The basically players are just going to run after the player who has the ball. And of course, we are going to counter attack. Whenever we win the ball back in our own half, we're going to get the ball forward as fast as we possibly can and counter attack. And looking at, we're going to get as many players forward as we possibly can in this system. We're going to distribute it quickly, and we're going to distribute it to our forwards up here. We're not going to mess about at the back. We're going to distribute it, have the goalkeeper punt it long to the forwards, and we are therefore going to take long kicks. And out of possessions, we're going to play with a high press, but we're just going to play with a standard line, and this is going to be to give us an opportunity to get into position when the opposition look to counter-attack. We're going to step up more. We will trigger press more often. We are going to be chasing people with the ball. We'll try and prevent the short distribution from the opposition goalkeeper, and we're going to stop the crosses. In terms of our roles at the back, we have a goalkeeper on defender. I've given him no other instructions, and then I have two central defenders. I was thinking about no-nonsense centre-backs, but I thought, no, as the game had added these midfielders as a link between defence and attack, I thought it might be just they should be involved, and perhaps the central defenders should be passing to these players. So the central defenders at the back, they have no additional instructions. And then I have two inverted wing-backs, and these wing-backs will, of course, be coming inside and helping tie up the midfield. We're going to be very weak at the back, but I'm hoping that the midfield barrier in front will be tight enough to help support the two central defenders. So we're going to have two of these inverted wing backs on support, also with no additional instructions. And then we're just in front of those, we will have a DLP on a defend duty. And one of the things that I would like him to do is to take more risks. We want him to be getting the ball forward as fast as he can. And so his job is just basically to get the ball forward. He's a distributor to get the ball forward to the forwards as fast as possible. And then we have two wingers who are going to be holding the width. Two wingers on support. Also will hopefully provide cover in the wide areas for when teams counter-attack against us. And then up front we'll have a deep line forward on support, an advanced forward on attack, and a false nine. None of these players I've given no additional instructions to any of these players. We're simply going to allow these players to play as they are coded within the game. I would love you guys to experiment with this, change the roles, see what happens yourselves, and actually see if you can get this tactic to really work. But we're going to go now and play a game against Arsenal. This is going to be a bit of fun. I have no idea what's going to happen. Arsenal are probably a bigger challenge than Sevilla. Let's go and kick some balls, old style. And so we have a couple of important injuries. We have Diaz out, which was a bit of a blow. But we have Edison in goal, Akanji and Gvardiol at the back, Cancelo, Walker and Rodri in midfield, Foden, Silva as the wingers with Alvarez, Haaland and De Bruyne up front. It's a good team, but I think defensively we're going to be a little bit frail. We have to do some auto-numbering here. We are going to be very defensively frail, I think. But it's just a case of, can we score enough goals? We're attacking. We're going to get a lot of players forward. It's a day for the supporters. Let's get out there. I got faith in you. The players obviously are a little bit confused with how we're playing, but let's go and play this football match and let's see how we get on. It's Arsenal straight away. We have to be defensively solid, but quite interesting to see how defensively we do line up. But Arsenal are going to score. It's just past the post. We are going to give away a lot of chances. We don't have defenders, basically. I'm just going to slow it down for a little bit just to see if we can't get some idea of the shape that we're in. And we do have numbers at the back, in all fairness. We've got numbers at the back, but it is all Arsenal at the moment. And we're not doing particularly well here. Ederson has done well. This happened against Sevilla, in that Ederson had a very, very good game. He saved a lot of shots. Arsenal are the better team. Possession-wise, we're doing absolutely dreadful. This is because we are just thumping the ball up the pitch, probably, and trying to defend with just a couple of players. It's going to be very harem-scarum, but we've just got to make sure that we get shots on target, and then hopefully we'll are attacking. Let's just pause it here. Let's have a look at the shape. We do have players back. We're almost defending here in like a 4-2 with a lot of players up front, but we don't have anybody in the center of the pitch. So it's an interesting shape, and we need to get stuck in. We've instructed them to get stuck in because that's how they played in the old days. They didn't really take any prisoners, and again our goalkeeper's having an outstanding game at the back, keeping us in this game. Defensively, I think this team is going to fall apart, and I don't think that it's a tactic as it is set up at the moment that is going to work very well. We're going to go back into key highlights now just to see how this game does pan out. We do seem to have bodies back, but it's a little bit disorganized. It could also be that we're just not familiar with the tactic and how to play it at the moment. But it's still 0-0 at the moment. Something akin to what happened in the very first recorded football match when, with all that attacking talent on the pitch, it ended up as a 0-0 draw. Are we going to have history repeat itself? And Arsenal are absolutely dominating the game at the moment, and we've just simply not been good enough. But at the moment, with 22% of the possession, we're still in this game. Although Arsenal are going to have a free kick now. Eventually, Arsenal are going to score. There's no doubt about it. This is how FM works. But I'm not changing the tactics. I'm going to go with how this actually was played out in the old days. Although we're not seeing much of the game, this should hopefully reflect that it's very direct, that we're just getting the ball up the field, and we do have a chance here, and it's going to fall to Haaland. We've got a penalty. Are we going to FM Arsenal here today? It's a penalty for sure, and Haaland hopefully will step up and put the penalty away. He's not having the greatest of games at the moment, Haaland, which is always a bit of a worry. But if he can put this away, it'll put us 1-0 in front. And what a start that will be as Haaland drives it in. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 1. And we have taken the lead in this game. It's an outstanding performance again. We've had none of the game. And it's really interesting that FM has decided that our first venture really into the opposition half is going to result in a goal. We've had 28% of possession, only created 3 chances. Arsenal have absolutely dominated us. But once again, our goalkeeper's having an outstanding day on a 7.4 there. The rest of the defence, what defence there is, they're not doing too bad, 6.8 and 6.8, while our inverted wing-backs are not having the greatest of days. Well, not bad, 6.7, 6.9. The whole team isn't actually playing that bad, and we're a goal up against Arsenal. I do suspect it will perform better against weaker teams, but at the moment, hey, who can complain? We're a goal up. And so far, I'm fairly happy with how things are working out. I think we need to go into the second half and just tell the boys to keep going, and let's make this tactic work, boys. Let's go through this season unbeaten, scoring thousands of goals. I don't think it's going to work out that way, and I'm sure you guys out there are going to get this to work better than I'm getting it to work. It's very compact. It's very, and I'm guessing Arsenal are going to get back into this game. There's no way with this kind of defence that we are going to hold on to this. They are back in the game, and it is 1-1. And Kai Havertz has made it 1-1. I'm going to go, because I'm asking the assistant to do the opposition instructions, I'm going to go and just change those. And Arsenal are back in the game, and I think we need to do something about the replays. We'll just make that. Yeah, we'll just make that as a TV as well. But overall, I guess not bad at the moment. 1-1 in the Cup final, in the Community Shield. If we can get another goal, it would be great. I mean, Arsenal playing this system against a team like Arsenal, probably a little bit foolish. I just wonder how they might get on against teams lower in the league. But well done, we've defended that fairly well. And the ball is like, that's the direct pass up the field to the strikers. Haaland's been very quiet, Alvarez quiet, De Bruyne has had a nothing game, and Arsenal are coming forward again. And it does look like Arsenal are going to score, but it's hit over the crossbar. And it remains 1-1. We just got to keep going, boys. Keep going. Keep thumping that ball up the pitch. We're looking at the stats. Arsenal are absolutely murdering us. We have not been in this game at all. And our goalkeeper is clearly the only one who's playing well and keeping us in this game. He's having an outstanding afternoon. I'm going to go and make some changes now. And so we have made some changes, decided to bring some fresh legs onto the pitch. It's just like 20 minutes to go. It's still Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1. The game's been very gentle on me, I think. There is no way that using this kind of this style, we should be holding Arsenal to a draw. We are just simply lumping the ball forward, dribbling as much as possible, and just very hopeful. And Arsenal are going to get the better of us. And here it comes, ball over the top. They're looking very good here, and they have scored, and it is now 2-1. We're going to lose the final, but it's just a bit of fun. We haven't done too badly given that it's Arsenal, and the one thing that I can do is go very attacking and try and get more in terms of performance out of the boys in terms of attacking. I do have a problem with Alvarez, who's extremely tired. We just simply don't have enough forwards, even in. We don't need to see that again. We know he's onside. And so we have taken Alvarez off. We can actually bring in Grealish can go up top, and Sergio Gomez can play on the left wing. And 15 minutes to go. Can we get anything out of this game? I very much doubt it. Here is Cole Palmer, who's come on for De Bruyne. De Bruyne was having a very poor game. And although we played very well against Sevilla up top, today Arsenal have kept us very quiet. We have won the ball, though. Well done, Walker. And is that a red card for Arsenal? Are Arsenal going to get themselves into trouble? It is going to be a red card. And Arsenal are now down to 10 men. Can we get an equaliser? Can we get something out of this game? Take it to penalties, maybe. It's going probably not. We've only created 5 opportunities in the game. Arsenal have been too good for us. The system does not work well enough to be able to compete against teams like Arsenal, and we're going to lose this match. And never mind, it was an experiment. It didn't work. We may have to tweak things a little bit to try and make this work. Can you guys make this tactic work? There are going to be 8 minutes of time added on. Arsenal are down to 10 men, but I can't see us getting back into this game now. It looks like it's petering out. It's going to end 2-1. We weren't good enough. We didn't play well enough up top. We didn't create enough chances. Arsenal were too good for us defensively. Can you guys make this tactic work? Can you make it work better than I've done? It was a fun experiment. It would be interesting to see if any of the other teams could actually do as well as Arsenal against this very attacking Manchester City team. It's very interesting to see how this actually pans out. That's it. Arsenal have won. They have beaten us in the Community Shield. Not to worry. It was a decent performance, I would say, against a very good Arsenal team. I might play through a few games through the season and see where we get on. And maybe, just maybe, we might finish in the top 4. Playing this system would be a miracle. That's it for this video. I've had a bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll try it out. Can you make it even better than I have done so? We're going to be looking at some of the other older tactics as it developed towards the 1960s and beyond, up to when the 4-4-2 was born. And so, if you are brand new to the channel, you like FM content, and you love to see people suffer playing this game, then you're definitely in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell, so that you'll be updated when future videos are uploaded. And all that remains to be said now. Thanks for watching. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you can try it out. Try and make it better than what I've done. And let me know how you've made this tactic a lot better. Thanks for watching. All that remains to be said now. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.